Hello, everyone, and welcome back. How are you doing today? I hope you're all having a wonderful day.
Hi, everyone. It's great to have you here with us again. We're really glad you're spending some time learning English with us.
We are. So let's get started. Today, we're talking about something you'll need in almost every situation: how to talk about yourself in English. A job interview, meeting new people, a first day at work. At some point, someone is going to say, "So, tell me about yourself."
And that's the moment a lot of people freeze. They know the words, but they don't know where to start.
Exactly. So, in this episode, we'll give you simple phrases to introduce yourself, talk about your job, your hobbies, your family, everything. And remember, repeat the phrases out loud as we go.
And here's the helpful thing to know. There are really two situations. There's the casual one, like meeting someone at a party, and the more formal one, like a job interview. The phrases are similar, but the interview version is a bit longer and more about your work.
Good point. We'll cover both. Let's start simple with your name. Avery, how do you introduce yourself?
The simplest way is, "Hi, I'm Avery," or "My name is Avery." But here's a useful one. If people often shorten your name, you can say, "My name is Samantha, but everyone calls me Sam."
That's a great little phrase. Everyone calls me ... Or you can say, "I go by Sam." Go by means the name you prefer people to use.
Nice. And when you meet someone after they tell you your name, what do you say?
A natural response is "nice to meet you" or "great to meet you." And if you want to sound a bit warmer, "it's a pleasure to meet you."
And if you've heard about them before, you can say, "I've heard so much about you."
Okay, name done. Let's move to where you're from. This comes up all the time.
It does. The basic phrase is, "I'm from Italy," or "I'm from a small town near Rome," but you can make it more interesting.
Right. For example, "I'm originally from Brazil, but I live in London now." That word "originally" is so useful when you've moved.
And you can talk about growing up. "I grew up in a small village," or "I was born and raised in New York."
Born and raised. That's a lovely natural phrase. It means you were born there and you grew up there.
And if someone asks how long you've lived somewhere, you can say, "I've been living here for 5 years," or "I moved here in 2020.
Great. Now let's talk about work, because "what do you do" is one of the most common questions you'll ever hear.
And just so people know, "what do you do" means "what's your job?" It's not asking what you're doing right now.
Good point. That confuses a lot of learners. So how do you answer? You can say, "I'm a teacher," "I'm an engineer," or "I work as a nurse."
And if you want to say the field instead of the exact job, you can say, "I work in marketing," or "I work in IT," or "I work in healthcare."
You can also mention the company. "I work for a small startup," or "I work for a big tech company."
And if you're a student, you can say, "I'm studying business at university," or "I'm a student."
What if you're not working right now? That's totally fine too. You can say, "I'm between jobs at the moment," or "I'm taking a break to focus on my family."
Those are nice, positive ways to say it. And here's a tip. After you say your job, add one detail. Don't just stop.
Good advice. So instead of just "I'm a teacher," you could say, "I'm a teacher. I teach English to teenagers, and I love it." That extra detail gives the other person something to ask about.
Here's another useful area. Talking about your experience or how long you've been doing something.
Right. You can say, "I've been a teacher for 10 years," or "I've been working in this field since 2015. That structure, "I've been doing something for" or "since," is really common.
And you can talk about what you studied. "I studied engineering at university," or "I have a background in design." "I have a background in" is a nice professional phrase.
And if you've changed careers, you can say, "I used to work in finance, but now I'm in education." "I used to" is perfect for talking about your past.
Now let's talk about hobbies and free time, because this is where conversations really come alive.
Yes. The classic question is, what do you like to do in your free time? And here are some ways to answer.
The simple one is, "I like reading," or "I enjoy cooking." But to sound more natural, you can say, "In my free time, I love hiking," or "When I get the chance, I like to paint."
And if you're really passionate about something, you can say, I'm really into photography, or I'm a big fan of football. Into and a big fan of both show strong interest.
And the opposite, if you don't like something, you can say, I'm not really into video games, or it's not really my thing.
Not really my thing. I love that one. It's a polite, casual way to say you don't enjoy something.
Now, let's do a quick practice. Zia, ask me about my free time.
Sure. So, Avery, what do you like to do in your free time?
Well, I'm really into cooking. I try a new recipe almost every weekend. And when the weather's nice, I love going for long walks. How about you?
See what he did there? He gave two hobbies, added a detail, and then returned the question with, how about you? That's a perfect answer.
Returning the question keeps it a conversation, not an interview. Okay, let's talk about family, another common topic.
Right. You can say, I have one brother and one sister, or I'm an only child. Only child means you have no brothers or sisters.
And you can talk about your position. I'm the oldest of three, or I'm the youngest in my family.
If you're married, you can say, I'm married. And if you have kids, I have two kids, or I have a son and a daughter.
And if you're not married, you can simply say, I'm single. Or you don't have to mention it at all. You only share what you're comfortable with.
That's an important point. You're in control of what you share. Now, let's talk about describing your personality, because sometimes people ask, how would you describe yourself?
This one feels hard, but it's easy with the right phrases. You can start with, I describe myself as, for example, I describe myself as friendly and hardworking.
Or you can say what other people say about you. People say I'm a good listener, or my friends would say I'm pretty easygoing.
Easygoing is a great word. It means relaxed and easy to get along with. And you can talk about tendencies with I tend to be. For example, I tend to be quite organized.
And if you're a bit shy or quiet, that's fine too. You can say, I'm a bit of an introvert, or I'm quite quiet at first, but I open up once I get to know people.
That's such a natural way to describe yourself. Now, let's add one more, talking about your goals or your future.
Good one, because this comes up in interviews and deeper conversations. You can say, I'm hoping to start my own business one day, or my goal is to improve my English this year.
And softer dreams, I'd love to travel more, or one day I'd like to live abroad. I'd love to and I'd like to are gentle, natural ways to talk about what you want.
Let's put a lot of this together. Avery, imagine we just met at an event. Introduce yourself to me.
Sure. Hi, I'm Avery. Nice to meet you. I'm originally from Spain, but I've been living here for about 3 years. I work in marketing for a small company, and in my free time, I'm really into cooking and hiking. How about you?
That was perfect. Name, where he's from, his job, his hobbies, and then he returned the question. That's everything you need for a great introduction.
And notice it wasn't long or complicated, just a few simple sentences said with a smile.
Now let's try the formal version, the interview answer. Avery, imagine I'm an interviewer and I say, tell me a little about yourself.
Sure. Well, I have about 8 years of experience in marketing. I started my career at a small agency, and for the last 3 years, I've been leading the marketing team at a tech company. I really enjoy creative work, and I'm always looking for new challenges. I'm excited about this opportunity because it fits exactly what I love doing.
Notice the difference. In an interview, you focus more on your experience and your skills, and you connect it to the job. But it's still just a few clear sentences.
Exactly. For interviews, a good structure is your experience, what you're good at, and why you're interested. Keep it short and confident.
And that's the real secret. You don't need fancy words to talk about yourself. You just need a few clear phrases and a little confidence.
So this week, try writing your own introduction using these phrases: your name, where you're from, your job, and 1 or 2 hobbies. Then practice it out loud until it feels natural.
And don't worry about being perfect. The more you talk about yourself, the easier it gets.
Couldn't agree more. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and be proud of your progress.
Well, that's all for today, everyone. Thank you so much for listening and for learning with us.
Thank you. We really enjoyed being with you today, and we hope to see you again very soon.
Until next time, take care of yourselves, keep practicing, and goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful day.